church in an old theater. It's awesome. And people are pretty serious about saving their seats around here, so they're using some toilet paper.
Entirely of black ceramic and sapphire crystal. And it's not only beautiful, it's highly functional. Radio waves can now pass through new technologies that is at the cutting edge of what's possible. With a stunning all-string design and intuitive gestures, with technologies like the True.
We went to church this morning and at the Cascade Theater, and Eric Johnson was preaching, so he just talked about the disruptiveness of God, and I thought it was really interesting because oftentimes we don't we don't think about that, but like everything he did was disruptive to the Pharisees and their religious systems, and like even just like with the adulterous woman they brought before him, like just talking the way he did and just like destroying what they thought was right in their eyes, and also just like some of the parables he told, or telling all his followers to eat his blood or eat his flesh and drink his blood, like completely ridiculous in that culture, in that whole system. Like the parable of the prodigal son, like we just think of Jesus as being perfect in a sense, and he was obviously, but it looks so different from what we expect perfect to look like. So what would it look like now if we were to go around to the religious systems and be like, oh, this law doesn't actually fit in the Bible that much, and just totally challenge it and do something completely crazy? So I don't know, I just thought that was interesting. How often do we challenge our laws, our rules, how things work? How often do we look at the life of Jesus and say, is our life reflecting that? How often do we go and do as he has done? So just a thought for the day.
Good morning, guys. I just got to school, and my revival groups, which is a group of 75 people, is going to be in about 15 minutes, and they're just doing worship practice. This is the auditorium that I do school in.
Today in first year, Ben Fitzgerald, he's a missionary in Europe and in Australia. He came and spoke and just kind of like shared he's doing this big stadium event and all this stuff, and he was sharing some of his stories of that. It was really neat, and so then our leader of second year kind of said, hey, let's all just pray for him for a minute. So we all just started praying for him, and then one person just walked up and laid $20 down on the stage at his feet, and then one of the people who was standing up on stage praying for him pulled out their wallet and threw some money on the ground, and then all of a sudden another person from the crowd came, and another person, and suddenly there was just like this stream of people just filing to the front and throwing money at his feet. So I had this brilliant idea of biking to school today, which was fine on the way there because it's all downhill. It's like 5 kilometers, took me like 15 minutes. But now I'm on my way home and it's all uphill and it's like 35.
I just got back from a long but very, very good day at school. I started off the day with dance community, which is a bunch of people. This year we actually have 200, so it's a lot of people and it's in quite a small room. But I heard a great message from one of the co-leaders of the school, Leslie Crandall, and she spoke about empowering women. She did this through telling us the story of Ruth, but also how Ruth was empowered through Boaz to have eventually down the line of her, she brought forth King David, which is in the line of Jesus. So it was just a really cool story about how women do not need to put down men to have power, but rather they need to work together to empower each other.
Yesterday and today, Bill Johnson was speaking on this book. He's making an online or a video curriculum for this book. It's an incredible book. Kind of really sums up the Bethel culture here, or I guess what they would want to call it is the kingdom culture, and I find it would sum up really well what we're learning here. Like, if you want it in its basic, most compact form, it's right here. So we did 4 sessions yesterday, 4 sessions today, and then a Q&A today, and so that'll all be releasing next July. I strongly encourage you to watch it. I will be sitting in the second row for the first 4 sessions in a white t-shirt, and I'll be sitting in the first row in this red t-shirt for the next 4 sessions. So you will see me in the crowd, and it will be great. In the Christian life, we often prioritize things. So we say God is first, family second, or let's say if I had kids, so God is first, my wife is second, my kids are third, and then my work is fourth, or something like that. So it feels like in order for us to love our wife, we have to take time away from our time that we would be dedicated to God, and we take that time away and spend our wife. And so Bill said, God is first, and that's it. There's nothing else. He said, so when you love your wife, that is a fulfillment of you loving God. So when the Queen of Sheba went to Solomon and asked him all these questions, like just to judge his wisdom, just to discern how much wisdom he had, and then all of his answers just blew away any expectation that she had for him. And yet none of those questions or answers are recorded in the Bible. And it's really interesting how the things that are recorded in the Bible are what the servants were wearing, what the stairway looked like from his house to the temple, what just all of these mundane everyday things, what they looked like, and that's what convinced her that there was a God in heaven. So it's like these are mundane things, and Solomon had a grasp on that everything we do is to the glory of God. So when he built his stairs, he built them so incredibly beautiful that they were to the glory of God. So it wasn't like when we walk up our concrete stairs that just look like everybody else's concrete stairs, we don't think, oh, these stairs are so beautiful that there must be a God in heaven. But what if we did? What if we did everything in that light? What if, and then that also completely erases the secular sacred divide, because now a carpenter who's building stairs is just as glorifying to God as somebody who's preaching from the pulpit. So we are about to have our first guests over at our house, so that's pretty exciting. So we're making burgers, and it's going to be amazing. So I just fired up the barbecue. That's looking really good. I just put in some wood so it'll get nice and smoky. So Shan got really excited about it and cut up some pineapples and cheese and lettuce and tomatoes, and we're gonna cook up some bacon. It's gonna be amazing. Today I got to meet with my revival group for the first time, so that was super cool. I've been waiting a long time, because the revival group is like the 60 people that you're going to be closest to during the school year. So obviously when there's a class of 700 people, it's really hard to get close to people. So 60 is a lot more manageable. So I got to meet most of those people today. Had some really good conversation. We just they created a space for us to have coffee and just hang out for quite a while. And then all of our leaders introduced themselves. So I'm super excited to be intentional with these people, to pursue relationship, and just to hang out with their super cool people, some really awesome people I got to meet that I think will make great friends. And and also the leaders, like, so they're actually in their 3rd year of school, and so they're interning for the revival group pastor. And when I was in 1st year, I really looked up to them as leaders and kind of like, you know, treated them different than everybody else. But this year I feel like, oh, they're way more at the same level as me, because I actually did 1st year with all of them. And so that's kind of fun, and it's a whole different dynamic, and it's more like friendship than leadership. But why can't leaders be friends? Like, actually that's what our RGP Shane said. He's like, leadership can look like friendship. So that was what my day looked like. We just hung out a lot, lots of little talk and questions and getting to know each other. It was super fun.
Yeah, so my day looked a lot different than his. So we just had regular class, and then they had a bit of info about our mission trip. So this year like all the other years. They have a whole bunch of mission trips you get to go through and choose your top 7, and so we get to go through and basically read about a bunch of different places that we're interested in going to and choose 7 out of those, and then we'll submit them, and then they'll get to look over a little bit of writing that we've done about why we want to go to that certain place.
Today, I was in Revival Group, and we were all praying, and a little bit of worship was going on, and so there was this moment of like perfect silence, just like perfect silence.
What did you do?
And then I was just sitting there, and then I farted very loudly. So Cheyenne is super proud of herself for making this beautiful pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And I am also very proud of her, and it's gorgeous. I'm very excited. She made the crust as well. This is all homemade.
Guys, this is what you have to look for in a wife.
A guy in my Revival Group painted this painting on stage during worship, and Cheyenne and I are considering purchasing it. So here where we live, we get the opportunity to work some of our rent off, which is an incredible blessing, because I can't work here for the rest, so that just helps save a lot. So I'll show you about it. Here is all the materials from the raised beds that used to be scattered randomly throughout the yard. So there's piles of dirt where they used to be. So there was 4 of them. We have all the materials here. We're going to actually build 2 of them now, and they're gonna be laid out right here. I'm also emptying all the dirt out of this, and we're gonna put some gravel in here to expand our parking capacity.
So we ordered a sleeping bag for some of our wedding money, so thank you for whoever got that for us. And I'm going to use it next week. I hope it has a bag. Oh, it does.
So it is a 3-pound, 15-degree sleeping bag. It's gonna be great.
It's really nice and warm in here.
We're headed up to Lassen National Park to do some hiking today. So this is my friend Sarah from first year.
Hi.
So we spent a whole year. She was in my Revival Group, and we hung out a lot. It was great fun. So it's fun to reconnect. And so she's now in 3rd year. She's interning for a pastor in 1st year. So she's in the same building as Cheyenne most of the time. So it's pretty fun. So we have a 1st year, 2nd year, and a 3rd year in the car. It's a great trip. And stay tuned for our adventure. Hiking up the Lassen Peak Trail.
Woohoo!
So, Sarah, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where are you from?
I'm from Australia. I like hiking trails. I'm not sure that's going to be the same when I'm finished with this one, but
There we go, that's a good start. So, we have 2,000 feet of elevation to ascend, and it's about a 4-kilometer trail. So it'll be decently steep, but it looks beautiful. So, we made it quite a good ways up this hill so far, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And so this is our view. So that road down there is approximately the height we hiked from. So we're doing good. That was all in 40 minutes. we
video.
found some snow. Sarah is very excited about the snow. It's quite dirty.
And kind of nasty representation of snow, but that's okay.
It's been here for a long time. But yeah, there's the peak.
so
We're
cold.
almost summited Mount Hassan. And it is amazing.
Oh my gosh, you should see the track.
So we made it down the massive mountain
We went way
right
up
there. And
It
now
was-
we're by the gorgeous lake. So we also found some ice cream at this national park. It's amazing.